Go ahead. Please regale us with the love tale of Rob and Ruth.
I actually met Rob at Comic-Con. We met at Comic-Con. And obviously we worked together for a while, and you know, he's got that curly hair and those blue eyes. That was it, Billy.
Yeah, we were buddies first. We were good buddies, and when we worked on the show together. And then eventually it became more than that.
Yeah, it said in the script that Rowena was God's guilty pleasure, and I just take things literally. That was after the stacks. It was a different story. No, it was before the stacks.
No, it was after the stacks.
It was before the stacks.
It was before the
Season
stacks.
11.
It was before the stacks.
She got around. She went around all the brothers. And God. Lucifer.
This
Gabriel. God.
Me.
That's Rowena, not me. Let's move on.
No, it's a sweet story.
Oh,
And we
it's a story.
fell in love, and then, well, the rest is history, my love. And then we have the baby,
We Margaret.
Margaret.
We were in London on Friday. Today is Sunday. We were in London on Friday, and the sun was shining. And London is a great city. Have you ever been to London when the sun is shining?
I have.
Isn't it awesome?
I love it.
And so she got a bit of fun in her hair, and it looks slightly ginger, and I'm really happy. Okay. Hello. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
Hi, my name's Ashley. I'm from Pennsylvania, and my question is actually for you, Ruth. I have an audition to play a Scottish person, and I was wondering any tips on doing her accent.
Yes. Okay.
Oh dear.
So, when you see a word written down, like little, for example, if you're a Scottish person, you were made to speak English. You should have been speaking Gaelic, but you were forced into speaking English. So you say it all slightly begrudgingly. And because it's written down, you say all the letters. So you say little. Do you know what I mean? So try that and see how it goes. Just say all, because English people will say, can you give me, can I think of the word? Think of an English word.
I'd like some tea. Or it's in the boot.
So, yeah, the English people might say, it's in the boot.
May I borrow your rubber?
May I borrow your rubber? Rubber, right?
Rubber's an eraser in the UK, by the way. I know a lot of you, and I'm looking at several of you. How dare you? This is a family show. You know, yeah, is there some death and murder and Satan and beheadings? Yeah, but it's a family show. Let's keep it clean.
So if you're Scottish, you say rubber, because you say the R on the end. English people would say rubber. Americans would say rubber.
I think she's got her American accent pretty dialed down.
Rubber.
Being the American, she is.
Rubber.
You got it? Good luck.
No. Everything's pretty angry. No. No. Hey, do your Australian thing.
Okay, so I love accents, and the accents here are awesome. But there's always a sociological reason for an accent. So for example, in Australia, lots of people from London, lots of convicts from London initially were shipped out. So you do a Cockney accent, all right darling, apples and pears, and then you squint into the sunshine, you've got Australian. No?
There you go.
Is that rude? That's probably rude to Australians.
No.
But yeah, there's a reason. So literally Scotland is cold, so you're tight-lipped. And in the south, it's warm and open, so you're like, hey, Louisiana.
Yes, and we call everybody Louisiana. That's right.
A lot of people in the South named Louisiana. How you doing, Louisiana?
Pretty good, Louisiana, and yourself?
Oh, not bad, Louisiana.
Okay, I'm going to stop talking
No,
now.
Louisiana's good. Good luck.
Good luck. All right.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi. First of all, Ruth, I love your skirt right now. It's so pretty.
Top shot.
Hell yeah.
20 years ago.
All right. So my question is, what would y'all change if you were God for a day?
I would definitely not have worn this shirt. I didn't know the group photo was going to be today, and I'm bummed that I wore plaid. So I would have just zapped on a new shirt. Robert?
You're God, so you could actually, later, you could do it in your automatic Photoshop.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't know how to do that.
You could still pay a man some money to do that now. You could be God
Yeah,
for that photograph.
God for a day. Photoshop guy. Robert?
Um,
God for a day, Robert.
I mean, there's a lot I would do in reality. There's a lot I'd clean up. Of course, you do all the things, you know.
The shirt.
The shirt.
Free
No
chocolate.
war, no...
Free chocolate on the streets for everyone.
Sure,
all the
free
time.
chocolate, no war,
Streets.
no war. Maybe I'd lead with no war.
No, let's do the shirt, man, because it could go to print soon. So fix the shirt.
Poverty.
Give your wife some chocolate,
People starving.
and then do the war.
And then, okay.
Okay.
And then, no, then your shirt.
My shirt's first.
Oh.
Shirt. Chocolate.
War, famine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chocolate, shirt, war, famine.
Fine, deal. I'm good with that.
I've got nothing to add. I'm sorry.
So you're gonna do you're gonna do this war and famine? That's it? We got chocolate and shirts covered. You're like, that's it? War and
That's
famine.
pretty big.
Okay.
A world without war or famine. That's a big. We're all getting along.
I would just have everybody in the whole world watch Supernatural and realize that we're all family.
What a pandering answer.
No, but seriously, if everybody could come together over something that they love, just get on with it and let everyone else be how they want to be, then I think we'd be all right.
So chocolate, shirt, war, famine,
Supernatural.
all gathering around Supernatural to realize that the world is made of love. Okay. That tracks.
I think it's chocolate, shirt,
Right.
shirt, chocolate, and then supernatural. War, famine.
War and famine. Okay. Okay.
If
All
the
right.
three of us are gods together.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
You.
Hi guys, my name is Myra. My question is, I don't know if you guys have seen the Jubilee 20 versus 1 videos, but if you had to be put in that situation where you debate against 20 people who disagree with you, what would your topic be?
I have no idea what you're referring
I've
to.
seen this. Wait, is it always with one person in the middle?
Yeah.
It's always, what's his name?
Yeah, with the one person in the middle, and they change out the topic and the person in the middle who's the expert.
So the person in the middle changes. Oh, I saw it with some jerk, and people, the college students were like, "You're a jerk," and anyway. But it's one person in the middle,
Right.
who's an expert or
Right.
claims to know everything on a certain topic,
Right.
and then 20 people who disagree with you,
Right.
and you debate each of them,
Right.
and then they'll get buzzed out or something.
Right.
Yeah. So what's a topic that you would be something you would be?
I would never do it because I'm really open to other people's input and opinions, and I would last 3 seconds.
I'm a little bit the same. Yeah. If it was like, especially with the movies, if I'm like, I don't think I like that movie, and someone's like, oh my god, I love that movie. It's got this and that, this and that. I'm like, you know what? I think I love that movie too. A change,
Right.
right?
Yeah. You're easily influenced by the
Well,
person.
I'm open. What kind of subjects have been covered?
Like serious stuff.
Yeah, like-
Abortion, you know, stuff like that. It's like serious topics and stuff.
Well,
right? Am
they
I
don't
right?
have to be serious.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh,
yeah,
I saw a serious one.
no, they've all been serious, but you guys don't have to be serious.
Okay, that's good.
I feel like I could have a conversation, me and 20 people, and I could really say how much better Belgian chocolate is
Yeah.
compared to pretty much everything else.
There you go. That's Ruth's topic.
I
There you
think I
go.
could.
Let me tell you something. This man would be
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
as the guy in the middle.
Richard would convince all 20 people.
All 20 people
Yeah.
of whatever it is, and he's got strong opinions about things.
I do.
Name
Strong
one.
The Oxford comma.
There you go.
I'm a big proponent of the Oxford comma, and I'm happy to debate that one. Robert?
You know, there's something about you and commas.
Yeah, well, I've got one in my name.
Because
You know, it might just be like I've got punctuation in my name.
I know you get upset with too many commas too.
Well, if they're misused. I love grammar. I'm a grammar guy.
Ah.
I text in proper grammar. I'm
I
still
do
that
too.
guy.
I do too.
So,
Your signature is every letter of your name.
yes. I know. And I know a lot of people go like, ah.
Yeah.
But not me, man.
And the longest name on the circuit.
I look like a law firm.
Richard.
Yeah.
Speight. 1 second.
Somebody comes in like, can you sign this? I'm like, I need 3 of those. Get 2 more documents and it'll go across the whole thing. So yeah, Oxford comma.
Okay.
Which is, but I think both are acceptable, but still.
There's a Vampire Weekend song named Oxford Comma that I
Ooh.
want to talk about an Oxford Comma.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Nice to see Vampire Weekend showing up for the school kids.
Yeah, but only at night.
And only on the weekend.
Is everyone in the back? Are you still with us? Are you still
Wait, I
there?
haven't picked my topic.
Yeah.
My topic.
Goatee versus Van Dyke.
What's that?
I don't know, just guessing. Facial hair.
Yeah, I don't know. What's something I feel strongly
I
about?
don't know, but you were criticizing Robot Mike earlier for pausing in between.
Yeah, you really laid into Robot Mike.
And you're taking a while now.
So,
You really gave it to Robot Mike. Hey, how about corn nuts versus popcorn? There's one for you.
yeah, popcorn versus anything.
Well, Rob's a big corn nuts eater, and he eats it's disgusting to watch Rob consume corn nuts. He eats like a mule that's had a feed bag attached to his face. It's awful. Second only to popcorn, which is equally awful. When Rob gets a bag of popcorn, he's like, "Anybody want some?" We're like, "Nope."
It's
Pass.
true. But you know, me in the middle of the circle would just be me eating the thing and everyone sitting and going, "You're being disgusting."
You're gross.
And I go,
But that's not much of a debate. We can all agree that you're gross when you eat corn nuts and popcorn. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Good question.
Over
Hi.
here.
Hello. My question for each of you is basically what your favorite episode or moment on the show was that you directly were involved with.
Okay, I mean, I know there's a lot. We probably all have a lot of moments, but if we have to just pick one, I will say the scene I directed between Jared and Sully, when Jared has to tell Sully that he's got to go back into the cage to fight Lucifer. It's a beautiful scene, little beautiful piece of acting. I loved the character of Sully from Just My Imagination. I thought that was a really cool character, the imaginary friend. And Jared did such a great job in that scene, revealing to his imaginary friend. And you saw Jared be the little boy he had been when he first conjured Sully to be his pal. And I thought that was a beautiful piece of
and the way you shot it.
yeah, and I was proud of how I shot it. And I just, my first episode of the show as a director, very meaningful scene for me to watch it play out in front of me.
Who played Sully?
Nate Torrance, phenomenal actor, Nate Torrance.
Nice. Oh,
He sent in his audition, he did it in his kitchen.
Yeah, in
with his
Cleveland.
wife reading off camera.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland.
That was before self-tapes were a thing, by the way. Yeah.
What about you? For me, it's, I mean, again, so many moments, but in Don't Call Me Shirley, the singing fairly well at the end of that episode was a really cool experience.
That was great. Legendary. I'm glad you worked that back into the set, by the way. I think a lot of people enjoyed hearing you sing that song last night. I think you should think about keeping that on the roster, you know?
That's a good point, I will.
Yeah.
But it's just a unique experience for me, and we never, rarely do you get that opportunity as an actor, you know, to sing, and it was just a really special moment, and they did it in one shot, and then the way it all cut together was exactly how it felt. So,
I got one for you that I like of yours. I can't tell you what your special ones are, but I got two for you.
me or Ruth?
You. Narrating the season finale of season 5.
For sure. That's
A high watermark, right? One of the best episodes of the show ever made. Beautifully written by Kripke. I think Kripke may have directed it too, or is it Bob Singer? I'm not sure, but it's beautifully done, and Rob's narration's great. 200th episode. The reveal that you're in the audience.
That was fun.
Simple, but really out of the blue. Like,
Amazing.
great.
Amazing. Yeah, that was cool.
Do you have any love for Rowena? Just for
Man, the library. There's a sequence in the library you do that is just fantastic. I can't remember who you do it with, but there's
Don't say do it with.
okay, sorry. Connect with, bond intensely with. I don't know how to say it, but there's a lot of heat in the episode. It feels visceral and real. It was a great episode. It was just a great episode. It was a great moment of television, flat out. You can go back and watch it again and again. I encourage you, all of you, to go watch it again.
I think you get it the first time you get it.
I really, as Richard said, it's like a Rolodex in your brain of so many wonderful times on set. Right now, I'm really having a fondness for the rupture, where I got to die in a beautiful pink dress, and I just really.
Moment with Jared.
Charles Beeson, who's sadly passed away, a really great director, and standing in a circle with Jensen, Jared, Misha, Alex, and myself, having all these actors facing each other, trying not to laugh, like hours on end, and I accidentally said vulva rather than Volvo.
For those who don't know, can you explain the difference?
Well, one's Latin. Well, they're both Latin.
Right.
I made a mistake, and I never ever corpsed. I never broke. In 6 years, 6 years I held myself together. And then in the last season, pretty much, I gave in and I couldn't stop laughing. And it just reminds me of so many, like, that was always just felt like it was an inch away all the time, the laughter. So
You know what I like? I liked with you when I got to direct you as Queen of Hell, descending the staircase with the handlers. And it was really fun because it was written a certain way. And I tried to create, you'll go back and look at this, like I'm a nerd, I love the directing part of it. And I tried to make it feel like the Marilyn Monroe descending of the staircase. I gave her male handlers along the stairs, and she comes down the staircase. And I've never had more emails about a pantsuit in my life. The debate over that costume was enormous. It looked great. I mean, it turned out great.
True story though, the costume was terrific. The heels were like this. Often for me, they put me in heels because the guys are so tall. Some of them. I didn't have to wear heels with you, my love.
No, you didn't need to. And I remember you being a pretty damn good match for the dude in the library too. I felt like that.
But they put me in Speight heels, and the true story is that staircase that I had to descend was made of polystyrene.
Which is styrofoam here in the States.
So I had to do the entire scene on my tiptoes. I could never put my heels down because I would have gone through the staircase.
I remember that being a bit of a flawed design.
Designed for men, maybe not so much for women.
Well, I also don't think they were thinking that your Spike heels were like, it was like a needle point. We just didn't.
Yes.
Also, I seem to remember that there wasn't a lot of time for that scene.
No.
Rushed.
Oh, no. And remember the throne that had like the serpent or whatever?
Yeah.
Didn't you try to get it?
I did, and I was going to get the throne and bring it to conventions, but because of lockdown, I wasn't there, and it got struck. And so I got in touch with Jerry Warnick last year to say, could I get a replica of the throne? It's made of styrofoam, you know, and he's like, yeah, it costs you about $30,000. And I thought,
So just get two.
yeah, maybe not after all, but sadly,
I'm secretly okay with that because I don't know if it would have fit in the living room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Robert,
Fit here.
you don't need a television, and you know those guitars take up an awful lot of space.
Exactly. We should move on. Thank you, sir. Hi.
Hi. Sorry. My question's kind of weird, but it's if you were to compare each of you guys and your characters to like a kitchen appliance or like cooking utensil, what would it be and why?
I'm definitely a devil-ended melon baller. Rob?
I'm an oven.
Robert?
Wait, what was the question?
What appliance are you?
What appliance am I? I am. Well, I'm a toaster oven.
Yep.
Toaster oven. I can give you toast. I can bake something. I can roast something. I can broil it. I do it all. I'm a toaster oven.
So if Ruth is an oven, then you're like a less powerful version of her.
Correcto.
There you go.
Correctamundo.
Meanwhile, I'll just be in the drawer.
Just waiting for a melon.
Wait for a melon.
Don't need you every day.
No. More of a summer salad guy. Thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
Oh, here.
Hi. So my question is mainly for Rob, but you can all weigh in on this.
Oh, we will. We
Oh,
will.
we believe me.
So was Chuck always a prophet, or did God like possess him later, or was Chuck always God?
Robbie.
I think it's up to interpretation, but I think that he was by the time we met him, he was God. And that was how he was revealing himself, not giving himself away. But I think that there are early hints, lines that I have, lines that I say, that kind of line up with that theory. But again, that's just my theory. What do you think?
I don't know. I've been having this debate for a while now. My mom's probably tired of me asking.
Yeah, I will tell him that God said he was God. Tell her that.
That sounds like a definitive answer.
Yeah, that's what I think. The truth of the matter is the writers weren't sure yet. That's the truth. But by the beginning of season 5, that's when they decided that Chuck was going to be God. So when I first appeared in season 4, they didn't know. So I think it's up to us to interpret it. But that's what makes sense to me. I would separately have loved to know what was going on with Chuck before that. You know what I mean? What was Chuck before God chose him as a meat suit?
Oh, you're always number one to me, my love.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
So there's that.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Chantana. I'm a big fan of the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Two-part question. Would you guys be on The Masked Singer? And if so, what kind of character would you guys be?
No. Rob?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't understand that show. And it confuses me, and the costumes creep me out.
Meg did really well, didn't she?
But Meg was on it.
Who's
Yeah.
Meg?
Meg Donnelly.
Meg was in the Winchesters. You
Oh,
directed it.
wait. She was on Masked Singer.
Yeah.
She did
Meg
really
Donnelly.
well. Yeah, she did really well.
What was her costume?
A big pink, crazy head, coral. She was a barrier reef.
But for the sake of your question, I'll entertain it. I would be a big, huge shrimp. I'd have a big shrimp costume.
Right. Great. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Go on. Because it's very similar to the symbol of your restaurant, your seafood restaurant.
Right.
Roberts. Anybody listen to the podcast, our podcast?
Richard and I have 2 podcasts.
Hands up who doesn't listen. Okay, hands up if you don't listen. Okay, slap yourself in the face.
I can't look. We have a supernatural rewatch podcast called Supernatural Then and Now, where we have people on from the show. We talk about, Rich and I are watching it from scratch. We've never seen the whole show. So we're in the middle of season 7 on the podcast. Check it out. It's free wherever you listen to podcasts. Separately, if you haven't had enough of Rich and Rob, we've got another one called Kings of Con, where it's just him and I off script, being the ridiculous clowns that we are.
Right. How many of you listen to that Kings of Con podcast? Anybody? Well, thank you. And so you're aware of the seafood restaurant that I'm working on. It's going to be a seafood empire, I guess, franchised series of restaurants called Roberts. And the image is a shrimp.
Yeah, it's a shrimp forward restaurant.
It's a shrimp forward restaurant. And by the way, Ruth, anytime, you're welcome. Your money's no good here.
Thank you. I get free shrimp.
You get free shrimp. And so the slogan of the restaurant is Roberts, a family place to go squirt some lemon on your shrimp.
And the theme song is...
It's got a great theme song. You ready?
Yeah.
A Roberts, why don't you go squirt some lemon on your shrimp? So we're very excited about this. And Rob,
The only hiccup, in my book,
it's not a hiccup.
is that apparently when he does this big launch of Roberts, the shrimp forward restaurant, with my name and image
Well, it's your image as a shrimp.
as a shrimp, I'm not going to get a cut.
Not at the flagship store.
I'm
But
not-
dude, okay, this is what Rob didn't get. It's very frustrating to try to go into business with Rob. At the franchise restaurants, Rob will have he will eat for free. That is unbelievable. And the franchise restaurants are going to be in not major markets, but adjacent to major markets all throughout the Midwest. And so that's a great opportunity for you. Family Missouri, somewhere in the Missouri area will be a franchise. You can go and you can get a free meal up to a certain price point, not including alcohol. But here's the thing. What Rob's he's ignoring and not telling you, and this is very frustrating, is that at the flagship store, he gets a significant discount on his meal, including alcoholic beverages. And with Rob, at least back in the day, that was a chunk. So Rob gets a significant discount. Yes, I can't make it free. I'm trying to get the business off the ground, Rob. I'm trying to get the business off the ground. But you get priority seating and a significant discount. And of course, Ruth eats for free.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, of course, Ruth usually ordering her half a piece of cheese toast and a
Chocolate cake.
stalk of broccoli.
Yeah,
and
she'll
a
go right to
chocolate
the
mousse.
dessert.
Yeah, so you're making a big deal to nothing. You're going to benefit tremendously out of this.
We'll see.
Anyway, if you're interested, and I think you should be, if you want to get ahead of the curve and help the restaurant get on its feet, we have Robert's shirts for sale.
We're already selling shirts.
We have Robert's shirts for sale at our table. Please come check out the shirts. And you know what? Soon enough, you'll be taking your family to Ghost Court. Some lemon on your shrimp.
So yeah, I'd be a shrimp in the Masked Singer. Thank you for your question.
Over here.
Hi, my name is Andaluna. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, and I am wondering what y'all's favorite horror or psychological thriller movies are.
Well, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I think Rob and I are both big Ari Aster fans
Yeah.
and Robert Eggers fans. And, oh, you have an arm. No, I can't see what it is.
It's The Midsummer Temple.
Oh,
Whoa,
that's a
so
creepy
scary.
ass movie.
So freaky movie.
So I'll go with those. I mean, and then this, I think this counts as horror. This is a very old movie, but I loved it so much growing up, is American Werewolf in London. And Lost Boys, two of my favorite movies. But of modern movies, the Ari Aster stuff. Robert? Ruth?
I get too scared. I really do. I find it difficult. I went to see Midsommar not knowing what it was.
We were in the front row.
I came out like this. Oh God. So I tell you something I did enjoy though, is The Haunting of Hill House. Rob's son Calvin was a big fan and he made us all sit and watch it together. And I think that's how I need to watch horror. Like I need to watch it with people and do it on my own and feel supported. And
But you watched Midsummer with Rob.
and I
That's
was
what she said. She
traumatized.
didn't know what it was going to be
I
about.
went in, I didn't know what it was.
We saw it in the
Blindsided.
theater and she just
And they
scarred.
were like, after we were in the theatre, they said, oh, it's the same director as Hereditary. And I was like, oh my God.
Hereditary is like my favorite. I just love Hereditary.
Oh my God, it's too real. It's too scary. But anyway, the Haunting of Hill House, I would love to work with Mike. I said Mike like, I know him, the director. It's because I can't remember his second name off the top of my head. What's his name?
Mike Flanagan, thank you.
Flanagan. I
yeah.
would love to work with him.
When
And,
Rick-
and his wife is always in his movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an ensemble. He uses like a same company.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
too.
Whenever something comes on the screen that's scary or disturbing, Ruth will put her hand up in front of the TV. No. Oh no. No. So funny, not cover her eyes, but cover the TV.
What was the film I had to leave? I don't remember the one that it was people were possessed by a hand.
Oh yeah, what's that called? There's like a hand. Talk to me.
I had to leave.
Okay.
I had to leave.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, really liked it.
Oh, that's the title?
Talk to me.
That was a request.
You're so dumb. Yeah, talk to me. That was scary. Yeah, she had to go. No. And then,
Don't talk to me.
Hereditary would probably be my most recent. Like, I watched it at first on a plane. I didn't see it again, but I saw it on the plane, and I was freaked out. It just, I was not expecting that, you know. So, but yeah. And honestly, props out to Sixth Sense. In the
Rock
last 25 years, like that. I saw it at the beginning, and it really got me. I just really love that movie.
Agreed. Really good.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am. Over there.
Okay. Hi, my name is Angela. This is my first con.
Welcome.
My question is, okay, sorry, I'm really happy right now. My question is, what is the best thing that you stole from the set of Supernatural?
Man, but the best thing I stole, I got caught and had to put it back. And that was the posters that, actually season 15, Becky, when I go to Becky's house, and she's got the posters of Carver Edlund books, and I wanted one of those posters. But the actual poster they use, you see them reprinted here, but like the actual framed poster of one of Carver Edlund's books, and they made me put it back. Like, you can't have it. And I was so bummed. But I might have secretly stole a couple of costume pieces. I have a couple of sport coats. I have the red sport coat I wear when I get all evil, and then I have another sport coat.
I think I accidentally took home a pair of thermal tights once. I just didn't have the bottle to take anything. And at the end of the season, 15, I wanted to try and buy my wardrobe. Because who else is it going to fit? Let's be fair. And sometimes you get the chance to buy it, and what I thought is if I bought it all, I could then maybe auction pieces for charity. But because of lockdown, I never got to, so I stole nothing. It's rubbish.
At the end, so the last episode I shot was episode 15, 18. And as a director. And in the last sequence I shot was everybody disappearing. When people started just being disappeared, right? And I wanted a child involved because I thought it'd be really creepy to see a kid.
Oh my God, you took a child?
Took a child. And that child is now Jason Mans. Jason. It was, I had a kid, and the whole way I wanted to reveal it was to have the kid's toy drop. So we start with like the kids holding a toy, and then the toy drops. And these things are always very emotional to me. I take everything very seriously when it's my episode. And so I had props track down and find the same toy that was my oldest son's first toy when he was a little kid, a little stuffed monkey. And that's what we used in the scene for the monkey to fall, and then I kept that monkey and gave it to Steve.
Oh, wow.
Gave it back to my son.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
That's
Who would be so cruel as to make children disappear in that reality?
Can you imagine?
I can imagine somebody, what kind of God do something like that?
Awful.
My last scene I ever shot for the show, because we shoot out of order, was in my final episode, making a dog disappear. I know, it's awful. Bad guy, bad.
It was trippy doing all that stuff, like, your character's making everybody go away. But doing all that creepy footage, like a swing set swinging by itself, and I shot all this stuff, and it was really creepy. Cut it together, it's very much like if you ever saw the movie The Leftovers, the series.
Yeah,
it had
right.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right here. Oh my God, you guys are dressed alike.
Hi. My question is, if all of your characters, when they were to open like a business line, why would they open it? What would it be? And who would they try to hire from like the show?
A business line.
Yeah.
They open a business?
Probably the prawn shop.
Yeah, your shrimp shop.
Okay, it'd be a shrimp shop. And I'd hire Raphael. Rob?
What?
I don't know. There's no wrong answer.
That's true. What about you, Ruth?
Do you mean as our characters?
Yeah.
Oh.
I gave up something.
I would have an S&M shop. As Rowena.
Yeah.
Just the check.
And would you call it the library? I pitched the name. The stacks.
Just bring the check. We're ready to go.
Robert?
Wow, this is exciting. And who would you have in to help some character to help?
There would be like...
Can't have Raphael.
Yeah, Raphael. He's working the prawn shop.
The stores would have like a hellish dungeon type theme. And chocolate handcuffs.
What character...
The old chocolate handcuffs.
Your little minx. What character is going to be helping you at your S&M shop?
Bite your way to freedom.
Boy, if I had a nickel, you know what I mean?
Pick me.
Okay, next question.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Rob's got to answer.
Yeah, I would have a store that helped you find your missing child or dog. And
To undo the damage you've
undo
done?
the damage that I've actually done.
All right.
So, and I'd hire Gabriel to run that shop.
Yeah, which I
My
can
son
do.
Gabriel.
I can do that because Raphael's running the
Exactly.
shop. Thank you for the question.
I wouldn't hire anyone. I would force the entire cast to be my shop worker.
Can I just pitch somebody that isn't me or Jerkface? I think Misha Collins would be
Yeah,
a
he'd
great.
be
Castiel
great.
would be a great
People love that.
He
employee.
would be,
Oh my God.
Misha would be the supervisor.
Yeah. You're a young lady.
Hello, my name is Brianna, and my question is, if you were a color to be named after you, what would it be? Because I've been making bracelets all weekend.
It'd be very much like a teal with a little blood orange in it. Robert?
Oh, like your eyes.
Yes, I have those teal and blood orange eyes. Famously, my teal and blood orange
But
eyes.
you have brown eyes?
I have, it's called,
It's
my
hazel.
sisters like to call it dirty dishwater. I have,
No.
No.
But what about your eyes?
They're teal with a hint of orange.
oh, there you go.
I forgot the question. What?
What color would you be?
I really like black. I like black. But I can tell from that answer you're not satisfied.
No, this is your moment.
No. What, like, if you had to have a color named after you that, like, doesn't already
You have to
exist.
invent the color there, Robert.
That's what it
That's
is,
why mine's
Robert.
teal with blood orange.
Right.
Yeah, it's all right. You're getting there.
No,
Take
I
your
am getting
time.
there.
Hurry
Thank
up.
you. Thank you.
This is gonna be your last one.
I
So,
don't think I am getting there.
yeah.
I don't think I am. Mine would be like a Rowena red.
I like it. Its own version of red. Robert?
Mine would be it's called Ruth, and it's red with just a hint of chocolate.
Perfect. All right, last question over here. What do you got?
Hi.
Okay, my question is for Rob. Alex yesterday said I asked him about Gen V, and he said that they made him pick out his own prosthetic. What did they do with you?
Well, first they told me it was going to be my actual Wang, and I said that's not the greatest news.
America's not ready.
I said anyway, and then I walked through the shop and they're like, this is where we do this, we're gonna do this, and then there was a table just full of penises, fake prosthetic penises,
That was called the buffet table.
and they had already made it, picked it. I didn't choose it, but and they said
It chose you.
it chose me. Huh? Oh, you weren't talking about the penis?
The bum.
About your face in the ass.
Right.
Yes, his bum.
I like they were talking. It was a question about your bottom, and you did a 10-minute dissertation on your schwanz. You just described to a lot of people underage about how a man picks a wang. That wasn't the question. You went off script.
She wasn't even talking about the boys.
No. You got dong on the brain.
That was my butt. That was my butt. Sorry, completely different question. Yeah, that was my butt. They did a 3D model of my own actual naked bottom.
That was hysterical.
Thank you. Thank you. I agree. I thought it was super funny.
I was gonna say it's a butt I chose.
Well, we
On
could.
that note.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of jokes that we're just gonna leave.
Yeah, let's leave.
We'll leave those on the penis table. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
This is Richard Speight Jr.
Yeah, man. And Ruth Connell.
I'm Rob Benedict.
Rob Benedict. Thank you so much.